Hello, this is the fifth game of the finals of the World Championship of Through the Ages, and this time it's again a two-player game against Martin Pêcheur. And yeah, so far I have 9 points from the first 4 games, which is pretty much the average performance, I think. So yeah, today we will see if I go above or below the average. And since it's a two-player game, I will look at the leaders and runners, and basically we'll see William Shakespeare is in the game, so the strongest culture leader, and basically there's no other culture leader at all. So yeah, getting Shakespeare could be critical in this game. There's no ocean liner, no Suez, there's no Hollywood, there is Red Cross, which is worth mentioning, and internet. Yeah, so let's get to the game. I'm in first position, and I'm not really thrilled about this position now, because yeah, there are several good cards on the one civil action spot. Basically, e.g. Confucius is one of the best leaders. Ham is not in the game, so he's the best leader. Roman Roads is a good wonder. There is Acropolis potentially in the game, it's not on the row yet. And the other two not so great. So Roman Road's pretty relevant as well, I think. And yeah, as you see, I'm taking Confucius because yeah, I think it's the best card still out of this bunch. And yeah, the other leader, like if I don't take him, probably have to take Ash, which isn't great in two-player first position. Don't really like Ash like in this position. Or I'd have to take Boudica, but that's for 2 civil actions, so this guy doesn't count, you know. So I'm taking Confucius because it's the best card, I think, and I'll have a better leader. But I'm giving Roman Roads EG, and I don't like that at all, because it's a pretty great combination together as well, because the EG lets you finish the Roman Roads really smoothly. But on the other hand, Acropolis is probably in the game. If he takes Roman Roads now, there will be 5 of the 7 cards revealed, so there's a rather high likelihood that the Acropolis will be in the game. So then I will have the better leader and the best two-player wonder. So there's that. But still not really happy about giving Roman Roads plus EG combination, but yeah, that's just... And he'll have Boudica too, so that's also a very solid leader. So that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I think if I take the Roman Road, I don't want to take the Roman Roads because then he probably gets Acropolis. And yeah, I'm giving Confucius away, so yeah, and same if I take EG. Don't really like any of those options. Acropolis does come out, so that's good. And first turn then I'll just do the usual and take the urban growth, I suppose. Yeah. I draw 2 strength events, that's not ideal. I don't really like just straight up starting with strength event as Confucius, especially against Boudica, who, yeah, you can't really take a strength lead because Boudica will pretty much always be forced to catch up, so that's not so great. But yeah, I'll have to see it a strength event anyway. And yeah, standard turn. I see the Crusades because it's probably the less impactful strength event, although it's still very important in 2-player. And development of planning is revealed. We'll see. So I chose development of trade routes. The other options were crafts and science. So yeah, just a little bit more value in trade routes. There's not really a need for anything specific at this point. So I get the Acropolis, that's good, and then build 1 stage, and I'll take the Frugality A. So I think this turn is a bit more efficient than taking the Breakthrough for 2, Just getting the first step done, and yeah, this frugality A is not the highest value, but like this I leave the breakthrough on 2 as well, so yeah, he can't get it easily. Maybe I get it next turn for 1, or he has to spend 2 actions on it. Martin seeds, and development civil life is revealed. Yeah, so he can now just build Roman roads, and guess he used civil life to, what was it? To build a lab, yeah. So that's really nice. I think civil life was a very nice outcome for him. So he also got the planning, he also got 1 of each. So yeah, this is a nice start, I think. It doesn't have to do any bad actions here, can just build Roman roads. And if we look at my hand now, so I have 3 events now, so no non-events which I could see with Confucius. And they're all a little bit awkward, I suppose. I have this territory, but I don't have any colonization cards, so it's not. Yeah, there's no reason to believe I have more chance of winning this. There's rebellion, which again I have no real information about how it will turn out. I will have to increase my population this turn, so then I will be vulnerable to it. And there's a foray, yeah, which is another strength event. And see what I seed. So I seed the foray because basically there's already a strength event in there, so I'll want to get stronger, and I decide to double up on this. I have the Acropolis, but like I said, Boudica is kind of forced to keep up in strength anyway, so that's not great, but yeah, just gonna try to get stronger. Both copies of Swordsman are on the row, so next turn I can go for Swordsman. I'll take the breakthrough and the cultural heritage now. Yeah, pretty clear, I think. So I used the civil life to increase population, and then finished this wonder, and just increase population again, and take the science. Always the best cards. So I think there's not really an alternative here. I'm hoping I can get Jitsuka maybe. But I'm not going to spend 3 actions to take him. Draw more events even. Martin seeds, development of settlement is revealed, and he goes for Jitsuka, which is a pity. And he has the fighting band, so that's even more a pity. So now he has a strength lead, and I have seeded 2 strength events. So that's bad. He has a tactic and I don't, so I won't really be able to keep up in strength and just have to lose those events probably. So this is already feeling like a pretty bad game at this point. So I see that's the historic territory now. Yeah, cultural influence will just be better for Martin because he has Sitska. The wealthy, yeah, like either of the territories, I don't really have a way to win them, but I'm just seeding the historic because I think it's slightly less relevant perhaps, though it's very close. And again, the rebellion, I still don't want to seed because I see no way that I'm going to build happy faces. So I'll just not seed this for now. So yeah, just putting in the historic, I guess. Yeah, I'll take a swordsman here and increase my strength, and I'll take the Great Wall. And then I can upgrade the other guy. Yeah, I will upgrade the other guy. So yeah, getting the strength lead. Unfortunately, the foray is already lost. But I can still maybe win the Crusades now if he doesn't increase his strength, or if he seeds now. And I have the Great Wall now to have some plan of increasing my strength further. Um, yeah, although, yeah, the rock situation, it's gonna take a while, but there's the EG here, which will stay on 2, so maybe I can get that and use it to finish this wonder. Um, yeah, not really much else to say here. So I won't draw cards, so I'll have to seed one of those events next turn as well. I'll discard the wealthy territory and keep the other 2. Then it's Martin's turn, and his seeds actually, and the Crusades are revealed. So that worked out well. I won one of those events at least, and he was already at more than 4 culture, so the full event works in my favor here. And yeah, of course the culture is very relevant in 2-player, so that's nice. And Martin does get stronger on his turn, so his 2 events are still in there now. Maybe he has another strength event, and yeah, I'm Confucius, so I'll have to seed into it anyway. And he goes to 3 armies now, producing 3 culture, so that's annoying. But yeah, thanks to the Crusades, I'm in a slight lead now. I see the rebellion now, and oof, I lose 4 science. Sadly, I haven't had the opportunity to go for any upgrades yet, so this iron was the first technology to appear. And yeah, so I lose my Confucius science basically. Um, so probably this was why Martin seeded on his turn anyway. So he wants to punish me here and successfully gets the Dark Ages. And I go for iron now and can do an upgrade. There is one problem here. Martin didn't take the irrigation, which was on 1 civil action on his turn, and the second copy is right here, and will also be on 1 civil action for him, and yeah, that's the second copy, so I will be stuck without irrigation. And yeah, that's a problem in 2-player, and there's no ocean liner in this game even. But yeah, I didn't really even consider going for another turn really. Think it's just too ugly to have to take this for 2 instead of going for nice iron upgrades. And yeah, I also needed the EG. Like otherwise this Great Wall is just going nowhere. If I don't get, like, getting the rock upgrade, getting the EG, that's a way to actually get this Great Wall finished. Taking the irrigation for 2, it's just, yeah, not efficient, so I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna be tricky situation now because I'll need the selective breeding to have a food solution. I copy the fighting bands to go to 6th rank now. I want to copy it in H1, so I don't miss the H2 draws for it. Means I'll have to see the cultural influence anyway next turn. Yeah, which isn't great because it's going to give him a little more culture than me. Maybe the Great Wall is finished by then, and then it's maybe only 1 difference, and that makes up for the seeding. And I just want to have this copied, have this out of the way, have this done. Could wait another turn with it, I suppose, but like if he then increases strength, it gets awkward because yeah, I wouldn't draw cards the moment I copy this, and then maybe I'm susceptible to an aggression. So I'd rather just copy it now. Even though it's not ideal that I'll have to seed another not great event. Yeah. So Martin goes for the irrigation and immediately starts upgrading 2 of them, and then also some military. Yeah, going to 9 strength now. Will be a little awkward, by the way, if he aggressses me, then I have to discard my card and can't, and I lose one science basically. But yeah, that's maybe also not that great for him. So cultural influence goes in now. Deposits come out, that's good. I got the one upgrade in before it was revealed, so that's nice. And also makes my Great Wall a lot more realistic. So I'm going to build it now because yeah, I don't have cards now, so then he could definitely try an aggression because I need to draw a defense card immediately. Or I'd have to build more military, but yeah, I just want to build the Great Wall, it's just nicer. And actually I have to build a unit anyway to get out of corruption. I could not use the EG, but that's kinda ugly. I don't have that many rocks and that many actions that I'm certain that I want to go for another wonder soon, and also maybe not the best wonder, so just want this EG out of the way. At least by building a unit, I become stronger now. So the deck has flipped, and I think I have historic territory and cultural influence in there, and rebellion as well. So there's only one unknown event actually, but oh yeah, and the rebellion is also of course a reason to build a great wall. Um, so yeah, by getting stronger, it's actually a little bit sad that maybe I discourage him from seeding because a rebellion would be nice now. But yeah, I'll play like this anyway. Still build the units, and yeah, might as well go for a swordsman directly then. Only draw one card, and yeah, finally something that won't be an event. Um, Cultural influence worked out fine actually, so my Great Wall is finished in time. So with the seeding it's equal. And Martin will build a religion, so anticipating potential rebellion that would hurt him a lot. Um, and he gets the code for one, but yeah, I kinda had to finish the wall, so I had to give him this. But at least then the monarchy would drop to me, and so that's good. Um, and he also is at 11th strength now, so then I will seed. And the historic is revealed, unfortunately, because this will solve his rebellion, and Martin wins it. And then I kind of have to build a religion because the age will end, and otherwise I will be hit by the rebellion. Um, but I get the monarchy, which is now also an additional science cheaper with this religion. Um, and yeah, then I still have to get out of corruption, so I'll increase population, I suppose. Oh yeah, and I have to go for a leader. So then I will increase population. I'm going for Genghis here. Not really any great reason, but I mean, I have no cavalry tactic. I actually seeded the cavalry tactic. I could have not seeded and used it perhaps, but I think the one science was just more valuable than keeping this tactic. I'm becoming a little bit stronger now. So yeah, just going Genghis with no cavalry tactic. Just get the tree culture now, and yeah, he's just the only leader available. Leo is here, but I don't have alchemy, um, so I don't really see much profit in going for him. And Nostradamus decided not to show up to this party, um, and yeah, otherwise I would have to spend the civil action to elect him, and maybe he will be only available for 2 civil actions probably, probably. So that's all just a bit ugly, and I'm just going for the clean swap, even though Genghis is not doing that much, but at least he's producing 3 culture for now. And if I have to, I can build another swordsman and probably remain stronger for a while. So yeah, at least that's 3 culture production. which is a bit sad compared to his leader, which is giving him 3 culture, a strength, and a military action, but whatever. Getting 2 more territories, which isn't that great, since I still have no real way to win them. Scientific breakthrough will produce more for him currently, because the Roman roads will move to science now. And then the age ends, and his event is now revealed, which was inhabited territory, and I bid 2 swordsmen, and so did he apparently. Yeah, so Martin wins that, and actually that was unfortunate maybe, because I'd rather have, like, I don't have a food solution, so this could have been very nice for me, but I don't get that. But at least, yeah, I had having to spend 2 population for it was a lot anyway, so maybe it's fine that he wins it for 2 anyway. And I see that the vast, like I said, I have no food solution, and now I have more military actions, no, 1 more military action than him. So I think there's maybe a little, and he also already spent 1 card on the first colony. So yeah, maybe still not great chances of winning it, but having an extra food solution in the game is good, and maybe it's not as beneficial for him as for me. So I'm just going to see the vast. And then I did 1 iron upgrade, increase population, take this breakthrough, which is on 2 civil actions, so that's good. And then I can also take the other breakthrough on 1 civil action, probably. No, never mind then. So I just played the cultural heritage actually. Not really sure about that. I could have just taken the breakthrough, but I guess I wanted to not use too many actions here. But maybe yes, I think I don't want to let the scientific method drop, because it would be really nice for him to have scientific method, and yeah, he can't go for it now, but next turn he can probably, and then I didn't want him to have this so easily, so that's why I don't take the breakthrough. I don't want this to drop to 1. Martin doesn't see it actually, and then goes for more strength. Takes the rich land and the breakthrough. So where are we event-wise? Yeah, so I think in this deck I have Rebellion and the Vast, and he has probably 2 events, right? So it looks like he has a strength event in there then, and doesn't want it revealed now. Wants to get stronger for it. Okay. And I was maybe a little surprised that he doesn't take the scientific method. Because like I said, I think it's good for him now. But he had to spend all his rocks on units, so he couldn't go for an upgrade next turn, which makes it less valuable. And yeah, clearly indicates that he wants to go for a strength event. And then I have a kind of funny response here. I drew a war last turn, and I just go for war and take Napoleon, because Genghis wasn't really valuable anyway. And then I'll build a warrior, and I'll take the scientific method and just go for 1 upgrade. So it's a very little war. I only built 1 warrior, and because I want to go for this upgrade, so I don't want to build a swordsman. But this warrior gives me still an extra strength with Great Wall, an extra tactic, and puts me 4 strength ahead, which he just can't easily break. He can't go over. He can build 2 warriors, which is 3 strength, and that's it. Um, there could be navigation perhaps, but uh, that's only 2 strength, and he would have to spend his whole turn taking and developing it. So that's all. And then he could, yeah, build upgrade it too as well, I suppose. So I guess that's the most he could do. Because there's one chance that the navigation would drop to here, and then he could increase population and build a swordsman and upgrade one, and then I would lose the war. But that's a very remote chance, so I'll take that risk. And other than that, he doesn't have enough rocks to go for a cannon, for example, or a cavalryman, so he can't really go for another tactic. So yeah, just a little war, but which should give me 1 yellow token. And like I said, I expect there to be a strength event in the deck, at least 1, maybe 2. So it was valuable for me to go for more strength anyway. And yeah, like this I'm set up for the strength event, but still get to use my politics action with more, in principle, stealing 1 yellow token. And also means that I go for Napoleon now, which isn't the best leader perhaps, because yeah, only gives me 2 strength. Don't really have much expectation of going for another type of unit anytime soon. So, and yeah, clearly no Shakespeare, but then yeah, I also have no population, so Shakespeare isn't really an option here, and neither of us really went for a setup for Shakespeare, no printing presses here. So yeah, let's make it a military game instead, and have the only culture leader kind of neglected perhaps. And selective breeding appears, so he denies it. That's unfortunate. So I won't have a food solution ever, perhaps, because yeah, maybe mechanized agriculture later. So yeah, not thrilled about that. He goes for 1 upgrade of a unit, but not a second. And so I will steal 1 yellow token from him, which is nice. But yeah, he gets to deny the selective breeding and gets this Rev ID as well. That's unfortunate because it's very valuable for him. But at least I get a yellow token. So now I'm stronger, so I can seed into the potential strength events. First steal 1 yellow, and I seed popularization of science, which should be a fine event. And try to win the vast by bidding 7, but I don't win it. And Martin gets it for 2 units and some cards. So I bid 7, so that's 2 swordsmen as well and my card. Don't really think I could bid 3 units, because then it's kind of counterproductive in getting ahead in population. So sadly I don't win this one. I go for the second upgrade and take the rich land, the patriotism, and the reserves. And I'm ignoring the cannon here, or not taking the cannon, which is maybe a little strange, because I have the Great Wall. But I figured, well, let's just make it a coin flip, I guess, who gets the cannon. Um, and he already had to spend just now 3 civil actions, has maybe not the most, still some upgrades to do. So I think he's a little shorter perhaps on civil actions than I am, because I don't have population anyway, so what do I even do at this point? So let's just make it so somebody will have to spend a lot of actions on the cannons, and the other one will miss out. And also, if I had a cannon tactic, I would probably not take this risk. But since I don't have any tactics, let's just gamble a bit with the cannon and get some value for it, of course, in the form of these yellow cards. Now I draw conquistadors, but that's not really a tactic I can realistically go for. But yeah, currently no free population, so building 2 cavalrymen, I don't really see it happening. And also I have the Great Wall, so and it's a crappy tactic anyway, so it's not really going to happen. Meanwhile, Martin takes Max. Yeah, so which will be a good transitional leader. He can keep Sitka for now and go for ideally the Republic with Max. And then he did some upgrades, a bunch of population increases. So this was also things that he still had to do at some point, which is what I meant that he is shorter on actions than I am. Then has to rebuild some military after he won the Vast. So he actually only gets to do one mine upgrade and still has more work to do in upgrading stuff. Goes to 13 strength, so he's still the weakest, and his potential strength events. So currently there's 2 events that I don't know about, and which I'm pretty sure must be strength event in there. I see it ravages, if I saw it correctly, because he has Roman roads, so it will hurt him quite a bit. It's never nice to lose Roman roads, and my wonder Acropolis was cheap. Pestilence is unfortunately one of his events, so not a strength event, and one that doesn't hurt me immediately because I had a free population, but yeah, it hurts me definitely in the long run because yeah, it was also my only population really that I had to spare. I upgrade this guy because I have a free military action, might as well do that now. Get a wave and get the organized religion and urban growth, so I can, because the age will turn soon, so I can go for more happy faces, which I'll need then. Means I'm not taking this Conmon, because yeah, there's still Republic as well, which would be the better government for him probably, because he doesn't have that much science, so doing the revolution with Robespierre to Conmon is not that great. I still kind of expect him to do that, but I'm not going to deny it because, yeah, just a bit too expensive. And if the Republic appears, then he'd probably just go for Republic anyway and save more science. So I'm leaving this Conmon and also considered taking the Rifleman. But it's just a fairly small upgrade, and I just wanted the value of having all these rock cards basically in hand. Also meant for the justice system, which is my 6th civil action, but that's, yeah, I have plenty of science, so I think this is kinda logical anyway. I could go for common and just develop it even. That was also an option. But I think that's just a bit too expensive still at 9 science for a relatively minor upgrade to my government. I'd rather save that science for an H3 government perhaps. Then he's taking strategy for 3, develops it, and can now get stronger unfortunately. Yeah, goes to 19 strength. But it means he's not taking the common. He spent his science on strategy, and didn't elect Robespierre yet. Zizka is only giving him 1 strength, so he could have still been stronger. But if he went for a Robespierre revolution, he wouldn't have any military actions. Perhaps just yeah, he couldn't elect Robespierre. Or could he maybe take this revolution? Then he has to play the Rev ID, take strategy for 3, and develop it. 3, 4, 5, and 6 for taking this. So I think he could do that, and then still have military actions, but then he couldn't increase population. So, and then he probably couldn't get stronger still, because he needed an extra population to get stronger. So, yeah, he makes the play that makes him stronger, but it means he can't go for the common basically. He had to choose between the common and getting stronger for what clearly is a strength event. His second event is clearly strength based. And at this point I'm also kind of suspecting it's Reign of Terror, because that would be the most hurtful event for me if it was in there. And yeah, I kind of expect, given the strong value he places on winning it, that it might be Reign of Terror actually. Now he has skipped the Colmon, and now the Republic appears, so I'm going to deny him that, take it for 3, and actually if I have it in my hand anyway, I will also develop it this turn, because it's still a better government, and if I am going for the denial, then I'm also going to spend the science to get the upgrade on my government and have a lot of civil actions now. Then I take the Kremlin and an efficient upgrade. Not taking this breakthrough, because I think the rocks are a little more valuable for me at this point, because I want to go for the Kremlin, so I have to spend 12 rocks on that, and then I want to be able to upgrade my happy faces, because I'll have -1 here and -1 because the H ends. But actually, I already had this urban growth, so never mind that. I could have done this without the efficient upgrade, but the main reason I'm taking this actually is to anti-age, so that he will lose a civil action to Zizka. Yeah, he's short on civil actions, and he'll also lose this rich land, which is still an easy 2 rocks for him. So ending the age is just very valuable for me here. Loses him 2 rocks and a civil action. And yeah, I think the breakthrough would have been the better card, because I don't really have a use for both of these. This could be used for mechanized agriculture perhaps, but still it's not sure that I get to use it. But I really want to anti-age here, and that's the reason. And I want to take the Kremlin because I have no population, so I want to do things that give me some value without population, which means building a wonder. And again, the Kremlin was preferable to Harvard, for example, because it was on a discard, non-discard spot. And I think regardless, I would rather have the Kremlin here even, because it produces an extra culture. Civil and military action will be good anyway, especially because my third military action comes from Napoleon here, so having another source for it will be good. And I have kind of enough science anyway, so speaking of science, let's look at the leaders for H3. And yeah, I'm hoping to get Bill Gates pretty much. Mandela appearing next turn could be interesting as well, as I'll build the Kremlin and yeah, also have, because of the H, an unhappy worker for a moment. So if he appears right on my turn, He would also be interesting. Maybe Steve Jobs could be good. Flaming is not gonna happen. Chaplin, maybe. Uh, Pierre is also not really interesting here. But mainly Bill Gates would be nice, and maybe Mandela if he appears next turn. Yeah, that's this turn, and also maybe have a look at the culture at this point, which is yeah super close. He's going to lose Zichka now, so having this extra 2 culture production from Kremlin will be really nice. He'll lose the Zitka production, but he will get culture production from Roman roads. Other than that, I think my economy is a little stronger. I have a government and he doesn't, which is a big deal. But of course, I still stuck without population. So that's the main issue here. And yeah, it's a super close culture race at the moment. Maybe look at my draws. So I kept colonization cards. I think the rest wasn't. Yeah, I had the mobile artillery, but I don't think this transition is happening. Uh, Not sure which tactic this is. Um, yeah, I don't know. I can't tell from the left side of the picture. Oh, maybe. Can I see it here? No, I can't. I can look at the pictures. This one, it's the fortifications. Okay. So I draw the fortifications. That's good. It's a potential way to yeah, maybe even by deleting these and building cannons at some point. But the cannons is of course still in the deck and will appear on his turn because all the remaining cards will be revealed. So maybe he will take the cannons away. And cannons actually drop to 2, so that's maybe unfortunate. He seats, and it's not a strength event, it's my one Confucius event that was in there. Um, so probably the remaining cards will be the strength event. He elects Max and takes the cannons indeed for 2 and upgrades something and increase population. So sadly no cannons for me, and now it's interesting what will be revealed. Like I said, Mandela or Bill Gates would be good now, but they're not on the board. Also no mech ag, no rockets. These are some other cards I'm looking out for. Yeah, I don't see it because yeah, this is most likely the strength event. I built the Kremlin, and then yeah, have to go for organized religion, of course. Using the efficient upgrade here, not really sure if that's right, because it could be used for mech ag or even oil. I don't really have population for, like usually you want to, like more often I think the efficient upgrade is maybe the harder one to use than in urban growth, which is probably why I kind of automatically did this. But I think it's actually wrong here because I don't have population anyway. So, and like I said, I could upgrade either of these. So I think that's maybe a mistake. Then the navigation is available for me, so I'll just take and develop it. It's a little awkward because I have 2 H2 events here, Ravage of Time and Popularization of Science, and here has just the one, and this one I'm pretty sure isn't a colony. So there's not going to be many colonies or even any colonies perhaps. So that's not exactly the best value for navigation. But yeah, he did. Yeah, it's clear that this is a strength event, most likely Reign of Terror, which I really don't want to lose. So yeah, I'll just go for the extra 2 strength from navigation. It's of course important to check whether he can get stronger easily, and he kind of can because yeah, he can build a cannon, for example. In worst case, he would have defensive army. Um, but at least he'll be forced to do that, and I'm hoping maybe the rockets appear. and I can increase my strength in a fairly clean way by switching, destroying stuff and building rockets. Not really clean, and use the fortifications. So there is still hope that next turn I can get stronger. Also, I get these reserves. Combined with the other reserves, I might even get a population out. I draw mechanized army now and impact of wonders, I think. He takes the reserves for 3 and just builds another swordsman and not a cannon, which has bit of a relief perhaps, so he doesn't have a tactic like defensive basically. But yeah, he's low on science, so he can't just spend it if he doesn't have a good reason for it. So he ends up just building another swordsman, maybe just trying to make the Nostradamus question more interesting because he now has 7 swordsmen, which was a question on the Nostradamus quiz. Yeah, and he gets stronger again, of course. So again, just this event is getting fought over. So I'm not seeding, of course, and I'll use my 2 reserves and my patriotism actually to build a swordsman. Using that patriotism because I don't really see that many uses for it. So I just want to get this civil action out of the way. I'm not having corruption this turn, so might as well just get it over with. And so again, build a swordsman, get stronger. We keep on this fight over this reign of terror, I suppose. And then I'll take the Statue of Liberty and build 1 stage. So yeah, I think that's also then a reason why I spent the patriotism, so I could do this turn. Because there's not much interesting on the row anyway. Urban growth I can't easily use, I still have 1 actually. And yeah, a bunch of techs that I'm just not really interested in. Air forces can stay on 3, on 2 after the turn and just drop to 1 later on, so no rush in getting these. And yeah, just not that much to do. And I'll build a statue because again, it's a source of culture without population. Yeah, and the yellow tokens won't even make that much of a difference here, but still might at some point be relevant. Of course, it is a bit of an investment because I have to be a bit careful about war as well. And so yeah, I'm spending a bunch of rocks on this. I'm kind of forced to finish it next turn now. But as long as he doesn't have a government, especially fundamentalism is kind of scary. But yeah, the moment he goes for that, he has to do the revolution with Robespierre, so he can't go for a war on the turn he goes for the government. Of course, the turn after that he could be scary, but as long as he doesn't have a government, I'm not scared yet. Luckily, no government appears now. Mechanized agriculture is here though, and we are going to keep on this fight. And he does build 2 cannons now, even destroys swordsman, I think. But the reason for it is he now drew positional army, which is a little sad. Yeah, he disbanded the swordsman he built last turn basically, destroys a farm in order to build 2 cannons, and reveals the positional army now. And again takes reserves for 3, which is at least taxing on his civil actions, which is still on only 5. But positional army is a bit of a problem, of course. Look at my hands. So this turn I will actually cede Impact of Wonders, and it is indeed Reign of Terror, which I lose. But I had good reason to cede this turn, and we'll see when I show my turn. I destroy a swordsman for the Reign of Terror. Democracy actually appeared, and I will take it for 3. And then I'll also take the rockets for 3, which is also a very critical technology for me. And I'll take the air forces. And reason I thought this was a good timing to lose a Reign of Terror was because now I finished the statue and the destroyed population goes here. I have 2 food remaining from those reserves, and will now go +1 for 1 turn, and then I'll have 3 food for a new population. And basically I can use this to transition my swordsman here into a rocket. So by destroying it to the Reign of Terror, getting a pop out next turn, and then I can rebuild it as a rocket, which I will need for copying his positional army basically. For this turn, that meant I was not getting stronger anyway, so I might as well use this opportunity to lose the Reign of Terror and get my Impact of Wonders in, which is a very good impact for me. So I want to see this at some point anyway, and I thought this was a fairly clean way of losing Reign of Terror basically. It's also very relevant now to start looking at the strength. Thanks to the wave, I have 9 + 6, 15 rocks available, which is enough for 2 rockets. So I can build 10 with the 2 rockets, copy the positional, which brings me from 2 to 6. So that's another 4. So that's 14 strength, +2 from the Great Wall, +2 from Napoleon. Brings me to 37 potential strength. And yeah, this is relevant because he can actually declare a war and build 2 more cannons and get another 6 + 6. So he goes to 39 strength. So I would barely lose the war by 2 strength. That's already not so great, of course, losing it even by a little month. But it was, I felt, the best I could do. Can't really, I could like not destroy a swordsman, but maybe a mine or something. I don't want to destroy a farm here because I really want to get the population out again and get the rocket. And I think it's just a bit too early to give up on my economy already. So I'm accepting that I could lose this war by 2 points because I'm getting a little bit of a culture lead now. So I denied him the democracy, but again went for it. Still getting a little discount with Acropolis. And yeah, like this I'm producing 3 culture from my government and an extra 1 compared to not getting the democracy from the statue. And yeah, this turn I've gone for democracy and finished my statue, which gave me a +6 extra culture. And so I'm going to take a bit of a culture lead. And I'm just producing more culture, and he's stuck on this low science, which will mean he can't easily go for something that gives him culture. He does have a ref ID still in hand, but it's going to be hard for him to get some culture going. So I'm accepting that I lose this war by 2, which is a 14-point swing, but I think in the future, in the next few turns, I can make up for that. And so I'm only going to lose a small war if he has a war and goes for it, of course. And again, no government appears, and he does have a war and does indeed go for it. Another reason the seeding Impact of Wonders last turn was nice is that I now know 2 of the 3 next events, so Ravage of Time and Popularization of Science. There's only 1 event I don't know about, which could be a bad event for me, of course. Yeah, so he went for the war, built the two cannons, and he took Chaplin in hand for happy face solution basically, and maybe go for one movie at some point. And like I said, he has 39 strength, and I will have 37. I thought about if I should seed now or not. I don't think I have anything really great to seed. I think harmony, competition, and government. Um, Competition is better for him currently. Um, Government is, of course, good for me currently, but he still has Robespierre. And if he goes for communism, then it's even, I think. Um, and harmony, yeah, is kind of problematic for me because of my low population. Currently, it's also only 12 for him, and also 12 for me, but yeah, I maybe have to destroy things to put in military later on, so it might end up worse for me because I just don't have population. And yeah, civil unrest is also kind of whatever. So there's not that much benefit for seeding. Of course, I could see the impact of government, and it's probably going to be equal. Maybe if he never gets a government, it's going to be great. Um, but regardless, it will be three cultures for seeding. But if Ravages is revealed now, I actually also lose the culture because I lose one strength. Um, Also gain one culture because my Acropolis would produce two instead of one. Well, his wonder won't change. And losing the yellow token would actually hurt him a bit, so um, it's also not bad to reveal this event. So in the end, I felt like it was worth it just for the seeding culture, basically, to just see it now. Popularization of science is, of course, still an event that I would like to see come out before anything changes, before I have to maybe destroy stuff. Um, so yeah, I will see it anyway, basically just for the guaranteed culture as the impact of government. And I was now really surprised. Yeah, of course, I was also considering that a bad event might come out, like refugees or international negotiations. Um, but yeah, I felt like I have to do this anyway and just get my tree culture because it might come down to little um, edges in culture. So I just went for a tree culture and was very happily surprised to see the freedom of movement come out. And yeah, this allows me to move one iron into a swordsman, not the most efficient move ever. But I want to keep my labs for Bill Gates, so those should be more valuable in the long run. Um, and yeah, I can't lose a farm because then I will lose 4 culture per turn, and that's too much. So it has to be the iron, and it can only go in the swordsman at this point. So yeah, not very efficient, but it makes, of course, a huge difference because after copying the tactic, I now have, instead of losing the war by 2, I now win it by 1. And yeah, I now will steal some culture from him, and I'm, as I said, getting a bit ahead, and was actually counting on losing 14 culture to the war basically. Uh, but instead, I now win this war. And after that, I also take the military buildup, the reserves, just have to take all the rocks I can get. This urban growth probably not so relevant. I will end up discarding this one at the end of the age anyway, probably. And you know, never know, maybe on the last turn I can use that. But most important here are getting military buildup and reserves. With those, I have 12 rocks in hand plus 3, so that's another 2 rocks I can build, which I think make me safe from war next turn as well. And yeah, the communism is here now, so he can well finally go for a government. But yeah, he hands me 6 culture. Fundamental is mostly available as well now, but he goes for communism. Does the revolution, elects Chaplin and takes the modern infantry, and then also takes the Red Cross and builds one stage. Mm. So yeah, red cross, kind of easy source of points for him because I don't have food. Didn't take the mech egg last turn because it was not going to be relevant in time. So, but yeah, he's now far behind actually, and the red cross, the culture he gets from this should not be enough to catch up. And I see that. Not sure. Yeah, probably the civil unrest, right? Yeah, it's an H2 event. Yeah, I see that the civil unrest, competition and harmony aren't great. Harmony is fine at the moment actually, but again, I might have to destroy stuff in case of war, and I just don't know how it will end up at this point, so I don't want to seed it yet. So I just go for the guaranteed 2 culture of seeding civil unrest, and again, the remaining events are ravages and popularization of science, which I want to reveal. So the ravages come out now. And then first of all, I have to do 2 things that make me safe from war, which is taking military theory and patriotism. With this, I have now 16 rocks in hand plus 5 here equals 21, which is 3 rockets plus the military theory, which I can go for. So the 3 rockets are 15, 20 with military theory, then 3 extra from Great Wall means 23, an extra tactic is 29, and I will lose Napoleon, which means I'll have 25 more strength than I have now. So that's 64. And he can go for 13, so 2 cannons, 1 swordsman, which is 8, and oh, never mind, he can go for this, right? He can build 1 cannon and do 2 upgrades. So that's 3, 6, 9, and another 12. So he has 63, and I'll be at 64. So this makes me just enough. This is just enough to be safe from war. So this had to be done regardless. Then I take the computer. Sadly, Bill Gates is not showing up. So I end up just taking computers and RevID, and yeah, didn't do anything else. Just ended my turn with 3 civil actions to spare, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because my hand is full. There's nothing I can use right now, actually. I don't want to spend the reserves on rocks yet. I need them in hand for war, in which case I'll need them for rocks. But if I don't have to spend them on the war, on rocks, then I probably use them for food and build the step of the Red Cross. So I don't want to commit these reserves yet, and keep them in hand. The military build-up I can only spend if I destroy stuff and go for rockets, which I don't want to do now. And yeah, basically there's nothing I want to do yet. And I didn't have the science to go for something already, so I end up just taking the computers and the RefID. Computers I can get some more points with Bill Gates at the end. And the RevID meant I could go for computers and military theory basically, because I'll still want to develop the military theory. And yeah, maybe look at my draws too, or yeah, no draws. Okay, and Martin actually goes for war. Now I'm not sure if I have miscounted something. So he does indeed go for 2 upgrades there and 1 cannon after playing reserves. And then he'll take endowments, build another step, and just take EG. And he's indeed at 63 strength. On my turn, I seed Harmony. Um, he's currently only getting 4 culture from that. He can build a religion, but then he has famine, so he kind of has to build a farm on his last turn. So it will probably stay at 4 unless he builds this. But like I said, then he has famine, so that doesn't work out. For me, it will also be 4 after my turn because I will destroy stuff. But the popularization of science will be revealed, so that gives me some more culture again. And then I just do the things I said, and I will end up actually at 64 strength, so I did not miscalculate anything. I suppose he just went for the war because maybe I forget to build units or something. I mean, if the loss is guaranteed, then you might as well just go for war and hope I forget to build units, I guess. It does mean I don't have enough actions remaining to take Bill Gates, but also that I have to destroy my labs, so Bill Gates won't do anything anymore. I actually have to destroy everything except my farms and my happy faces. So I win another war by 1, and then the game is pretty much sealed, I suppose, because I now have a large lead and also most of the impact. So um, I think it's clear from now. And then we go to the final impact evaluation. I score 2 more for governments, harmony is neutral, and 2 for architecture, which he seeded at the last turn. And like this, I win. So bit surprising, I think. I did not expect to win against Martin, and I think the start was also not great. But governments in 2-player can be very swingy and kind of random. He, like, if he got a government at a good spot with Robespierre, might have gone a different way entirely. But he didn't, and that's, I think, a bit of an inherent randomness in 2-player, especially with the Acropolis, and I got kind of lucky here and managed to win against Martin. And with that, we can now look at the standings. And I'm actually in the lead now. So I'm in first position after another 2-player win. But of course, I also have the most games finished. But still, it's nice to be on top of the standings for a moment. And still, everything is really possible. Like Martin and E5 still have their own 2-player game. If Martin wins it, he's over me again. If E5 wins it, we're actually dead even again. And of course, Weidenbaum still has many games to play, so he can still overtake everybody as well. I imagine he's kind of happy at the outcome of my 2-player games as well, because I was a bit behind the others, and now everything is equalizing again, and so everybody still has every chance to win the World Championship. 3 more games to come for me. Still super exciting, and I'm still in the running, so we'll see what the next games bring. And I'll have more games to show you later when those finish. See you, bye.